Hi, I'm Kerry Hopkins from the Broadcasters Academy. With me today is my amazing client, Patrick Reed, who's an
Hey,
FX trader. Hi, Patrick.
hi Kerry, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Thank you for joining me today to
Pleasure.
talk to our audience about your experience of working with me. Now, we've been working together only for 6 weeks today. We've been working together. You joined the Broadcasters Academy on the 11th of March, and you have had, I mean, you run your own company with somebody else called the Adamis Principle, where you train traders in particular how to make more profits. So, how's it been for you in your first 6 weeks of working at the with me?
Nothing short of incredible, really. I wasn't, I didn't have any expectations I had no expectations on what to really see at the end of it. But in a very short time, I've got a really amazing return on my investment. I mean, one thing I will say is you keep it real, and I want it as a trader. I trade markets every day. I want value and I want a return on my investment, and that's what you've given me. But also, you've given me a relief to know that I don't have to work it out. How to sell and position myself as an expert in macroeconomics and trading spot effects. And you gave me that reassurance, and you basically told me where I was going wrong and where I was going right. You gave me a good steer. But what really attracted me was the names you work with: JP Morgan, Schroders, TD Securities. So I felt that I could really use that global billion-dollar experience, but at a sort of really affordable price.
So that's right. So I've worked out with my accountant just to get that figure verified. So by week 5 of working with me, you've made a 592% return on your investment, and we in profit, and we've got a 1-year contract together. So what percentage that's going to be by the end of this year, I have no idea. We're going to be in the thousands, really, aren't we?
Yeah, we should
So
run a competition on how many digits. But I mean, I'm just like, I can't really pinch myself. I have to pinch myself rather. It is incredible, and I'm learning so much about how it works. And taking your guidance really to the letter, and that's why I'm in this situation right now.
I mean, that's one thing that you have done, Patrick. You've really followed what Patrick's done, everybody. So just another figure to throw out there first is Patrick's made a 750% increase in revenue um, in the 1 month figures. So between 11th of March and the 10th of April, compared to the year before. So by working with me, Patrick's company has made a 750% increase in sales during that period compared to 1 year ago, which is phenomenal. And the reason for Patrick's success is, firstly, he's amazing at what he does. He's already got a large following. But what Patrick's done in terms of working with me is that he's really followed my advice to the T. He's invested. So he's been coming, Patrick, you've been coming to all the coaching calls that I put on every week, which I do 2 a week, and you have been attending them all to ask questions, because that's what they're there for. So just for people that don't know, my training and coaching program has videos, audio files, and downloads that you can look at any point, when it's convenient for you. And the coaching calls are if you've got questions. Now, you've excelled in terms of watching the videos, quickly. You've also come on the coaching calls every week. You've followed the advice and it's worked for you. And so for me, this is, I'm delighted that this is working so well for you. Um, when you say keeping it real, could you just give me a bit more insight into what you mean by keeping it real?
Yeah, I think you said to me once, it's kinder to be honest in how I present myself for potential interviews, positioning, marketing, and all that stuff. and it's mean to say nice things, right? And I didn't sign up for this. I have enough people in my life to tell me, to give me compliments, right? So I didn't really do that. So, and you don't do that. You know, it's like you just, it's very, very honest, and because that's what, you know, that's my learning experience. And otherwise, what's the point? So that's one of the things that you do. You know, you don't beat around the bush. You tell me what I need to hear, basically.
So just to expand on that, what Patrick means is, or what you mean, Patrick, I'm sort of half talking to you, half talking to the audience. What you mean by that is, if a PR person is telling a client how amazing they were in that interview or how brilliant they're doing, and really they're not, to me, that's actually not very kind, because it's making the client not look as good as they could do, right? So that's not adding value. So that's why I always say that's actually cruel when you're being kind to somebody like that, because you're not helping them excel, you're not helping them be their best. You're actually, they might even be making a bit of a fool of themselves, and you know that, but you're just too scared to say it as a coach. Whereas I am honest, well, honest from my perspective. Of course, somebody else's perspective might be different. So that's why I think my honesty and my opinion, if you do take it on board, is actually kinder. That's the thinking around that anyway. So since we've been working together, Patrick, in the last 6 weeks, you've had a lot of doors open. Why do you think that is, and what kind of doors have been opening?
Well, it really started from the Thomson Reuters article, and that was, you know, it was down to your great guidance and, you know, give me confidence. And from then, a load of other doors opened. So I'm now expert panel at a Dubai Expo. IFX Finance Magnets are organising that in mid-May. I'm also in the circuit of being an expert panels for the London Investing Show and another one next year. And that then opened up additional doors, you know, giving me an extra involvement with the University of Cambridge, which I'm visiting lecturer at. But, you know, it's both direct and indirect. So it just basically raises all of my exposure, gives me additional credibility, and just gets my name out there. You know, I want to be the go-to for my expertise. And certainly from that just one thing, that's what I've got.
The one thing being the Reuters article, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've used that in your marketing campaign. You know, the advice that I give about digital marketing, and then you've basically, yeah, just suddenly had all these other doors open, some of which you've contacted them, and then they've seen, you know, your credibility, particularly, you know, getting Reuters, and some other organizations have just seen it and then contacted you. So now you've got University of Cambridge lecturing in economics, is it, or macroeconomics?
Macroeconomics,
as a visiting lecture.
Yeah.
You're now going to Dubai next month, doing an expo there as a panelist. And what was the other thing that you've got as well?
Yeah, there's the London Investing Show, which is in October. That's obviously it's in London. There's some big names there. Alpesh Patel, OBE, Justin Urquhart Smith, I think it is, the guy with the red braces. He's there, yes. And lots of great people, and they do 2 or 3 a year. And certainly the Dubai gig, that they do 3 or 4 globally as well each year. So, you know, that's really exciting. And they've just said, look, we're happy to have you back. And I haven't actually started yet, so I'm like, I better turn up with the goods. So I'll be taking some advice from your coaching just before I go on the panel.
Bless you. And yes, that's right, because you got the media training with me as well, the one-to-one media training. What did you learn on that? And specifically, how do you think you've changed after one day's media training with me and my and somebody else, a special finance journalist?
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible, really.
Without mentioning his name.
Yeah, no worries. It's incredible. I started to look at myself, question, you know, the words I came out with, and made myself just a bit more succinct, more attractive, and just more TV savvy, because I think obviously I'm an expert in my field, but that's not going to look good if I just drone on about the merits of ISM manufacturing index. So I want to really reach new people with my expertise. Look, I'm really excited about my subject matter, but I need to make that exciting for people who are going to watch me on TV, and certainly people I communicate with and engage with. And you really made that happen through the media training, because we played me back, and it was brutally honest, and it was incredible because it warts and all. Right? So it was like, oh right, do I really look like that? Did I really say that? And you gave me a lot of tips, a lot of tricks, just to get really prepared for that moment that you're on TV.
I think you've been a little bit too harsh on yourself, because when I first saw you, Patrick, when we started working together, because obviously you're a presenter on the Investing Channel, one thing I liked about you was that you are very good at intonating. Actually, you remind me a little bit of either a Bloomberg presenter or a sports presenter. Yeah, so you already some people that I work with or that might want to work with me can be really monotone, and they need definitely training. Whereas you weren't like that at all. So I think you've been a little bit harsh on yourself there. But brutally honest is certainly a phrase that I have heard before when somebody's talked about me media training them. But then they did say that person got on TV 100 times. And they said that if I hadn't, hadn't had the feedback, they wouldn't have got on TV 100 times. So yes, there we go.
Yeah,
there we go. I'm now blushing at that awful phrase, but what can I say? It's needed, right, to be better. I suppose I could be maybe the Simon Cowell of media training. I don't know.
Absolutely.
So obviously you've had amazing results so far. We're only on week 6, starting now. We've got a 1-year contract. Can you see yourself re-signing up with the Broadcasters Academy in 1 year's time?
No question. If you had a live contract, then I'd certainly be doing that. So, but I definitely, there's no, look at the results, look at, I've started to think about, the endless possibilities, right? So it's just, if it's this good 6 weeks in, how good is it? Where we're going to be in 3 months, right? So it's like
it's exciting.
1 year, yeah. Sky's the limit.
Exactly. And what about the time investment that you've had to put in to get the time investment in terms of the coaching with me, the learning, the videos? Has that been a struggle, or how's that been, or has that been okay?
No, I've actually really enjoyed it. And, you've got to, I'm a hard worker. Look, I haven't got to where I've got by sitting down, doing nothing. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to do that, maximize and really gain a lot from that? And I honestly had the belief, I didn't have preset expectations of what you could deliver, but I knew I was onto something good, and I knew I wanted to get the most out of it. And you just got to put the work in. It's just that common sense, really. But as a struggle, no, not at all. And I just think if you look at the wins, it's like, I could look at markets all day and, be in my ivory tower and just trade, which I do, but I want to kind of expand that out. I want to get a long-term vision in. And that's why I put in a lot of work. And actually, I find the coaching call is really enjoyable because, I get to chat with the crew and, yourself, and, we have a bit of a laugh, but it's serious, but it's like, we all feed off each other. So it's a really nice little community.
Yeah. because I have my own coach in the States, and when I go on their coaching calls with that company, we all just wait our turn and then we leave the call. But on my calls, I've found that everybody's staying on the whole hour and they're all listening to each other. And then sometimes you talk to each other, and everybody's so different in terms of the industry expertise, but you're all learning from each other. That's the feedback, isn't it? You will learn, and then also you all get a little bit competitive as well, which is great, because then it elevates you all to you know, to achieve even bigger things, because you're thinking, what if they're getting on that TV show, or if they're making that sort of revenue from this advice, I want to do that too. So that's what I love about group coaching. um so you found the training easy to understand, is that right? And if you've had any questions, you've come on the coaching calls. Tell me, when we started working together, that's because you saw me post on somebody's post and then you looked at my profile, and then I think you contacted me, didn't you? Is that how we?
Yeah,
On
yeah,
LinkedIn, wasn't it?
exactly. Yeah, I think it was through, I think it was through LinkedIn or something, and I saw a post, and I was really intrigued to buy the, you know, what you're doing and who you'd worked with, and particularly, you know, when I found out a bit more about you, having that global experience with you know, my sector, that was really attractive. You know, for me, it was JP Morgan and Schroders and TD Securities, and then obviously you worked with some famous people, and I just thought, hey, there's something really good here, and you know, maybe I'm missing out. This is what I need. So that's why we sort of started to work together.
Yeah, and you made a really quick decision. We had a quick call, then we had a video call. And on that, I think the second video call, that's when you signed up that day. I think that's right. Or did we have three video calls? The third one being the payment. But you know, there was very short calls. You were quick, you were decisive. I think you literally made your mind up within 24 hours, actually, within 24 hours. So that's somebody that's going to go far in my estimations, because again, it's something I've learned is the what's the word, the art of making decisions quickly, because otherwise you have that on your mind and it's just another thing that's burdening your mind that you need to release. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Yours was a yes. So you obviously had a gut feeling, didn't you, that you get some good results working with me? Is that right? You didn't get any negative feeling because you
Yeah,
obviously
correct.
signed up.
Yeah, I mean, I saw enough for me to, you know, make that decision. And quite simply, what I like about, you know, if I'm looking to buy into something, an experience, coaching, whatever it is, I'm looking for people who freely give, not all the jewels away, but something of value. You know, they give, take out, and it's something I can learn from. It's a learning experience. So I found that with you, you know, just doing these masterclasses and just, you know, being active on social media and just get you know, you interacting. You know, the other important thing is you interacting with other people as well on social media, and you know, your positioning with what they're doing, and you're showing your expertise off, and that was really attractive for me. And you know, the whole kind of thing, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And also, it's definitely worth pointing out that your diary now literally seems to be just jam-packed full of these one-to-one business meetings with potential clients. Do you want to just talk a bit more about that? Like how much, yeah, like the results that you're getting with all these new meetings?
Yeah. So before before this happened, I was really busy. Now that really busy is like lax, because now it's insanely busy. I've literally got, you know, it's just back to back, and what that does mean is I'm sending and firing off texts and emails to my friends in like 2 or 3 words, and they're like, why is that? I was like, I'm just so busy. Yeah, I probably need to definitely be hiring a PA soon. But it's just as a result of another thing you've given me, just setting up getting leads, setting up one-to-one business meetings. And the great thing is they're the right kind of meeting, and they're the productive kind of meeting, rather than this kind of scattergun approach. It's like randomness. There's a real kind of structure to it. And, it feels that when I go into the business meeting, I have enough confidence that the person is open and willing and really active and want to hear what I can give them in the value sense. And, it feels good. And I get, a definite endpoint or closure to that, because I've gone about it in the right way, rather than just chasing some random lead, right? So, and that's through what you taught me.
Yeah, that's right. So, I know what you mean. Sometimes you can have these business meetings and then they just don't really go anywhere. You know what I mean? Or it takes like a year for somebody to make a decision. Whereas the method that I teach is very much actually getting a decision really quickly, how to get decisions quickly. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Because there's no need for decisions like, or to go on our programs, your coaching course, my coaching. There's no need to drag that decision out, especially when you've got good stats to back it up. But there is a technique to not dragging it out that we need to learn, and it does help the the potential client as well, because it helps them make a decision quicker, whether it's a yes or a no. So it is a good technique. So what I like about the fact that you've just said you are more busy, but now it's a different kind of busy. It's more a focused busy rather than those wishy-washy kind of meetings. Now it's like, this is a meeting. I've only got so much time to give you. I'm going to give you some free advice. Are we going to work together or not? And it's also on Zoom as well, isn't it? So that's great, because you don't have to spend money traveling around the country or to different meetings. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love a nice lunch in a posh restaurant. There's no doubt about that. But we haven't been doing a lot of that because of the pandemic and lockdown, and I certainly want to get back to that. But I won't be doing as much as that as, the way that we do business now, which is very much global. It's online. So you can have these meetings anywhere in the world, with your potential clients, right? And that's the beauty of this, isn't it? That we are in a pandemic still, but there's people out there still using digital marketing, using PR, getting on TV, getting on radio, and, making great revenue, which is just fantastic. So it's not, there's still people out there doing really well, and it's basically harnessing the use of digital media, Zoom video calls, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I totally agree. And you know what? I just think since March, I mean, we were doing really well, and now in the last 6 weeks, we've really upped the game. And I'm so excited for this year. When things, mid-May, when I come back from Dubai, armed with like a bunch of contacts based on what you've taught, things are opening up, and I'm like, wow, you've got, the easiness of having this, meeting on Zoom, and, but also the physical option as well. That's just going to be a very potent mix to even expand even more.
Absolutely. So, would you recommend this program to anyone else?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, no question at all. It's complete. I mean, I can't believe we've only done it for 6 weeks. It's like, okay, I'm kind of, how much better will it get? I'm like, oh my God, but yeah, definitely 1,000,000%.
I mean, you haven't even finished the program yet, because it's actually 13 weeks, isn't it? So you're only, how many weeks through are you on the videos and the audios?
I'm actually on week 6. So
right.
I've done, yeah. So so I started, really strongly, and then obviously I did other stuff, but all still part of your program. But then I'm gonna crack on You know,
I think that just shows though what, yeah, exactly, like what you're going to be like after week 13.
yeah,
So just so everyone knows, the program's 6 months long, but the teaching part is about 13 weeks. But I then like to have people working with me for 6 months so that we can then get some results together once you've got the training. But as you can see with you, Patrick, you have got results immediately, which is just awesome. But we are working on a more extended contract for 1 year. But yeah, I think with the results you're getting, hopefully it's going to be long term. So I really like working with you because, yeah, you're just following the advice, getting results, and it's just brilliant to see.
well, thank
So
you.
yeah, it's just awesome. Do you have anything else to add before we depart this merry call?
Yeah, I just haven't had time to sit down and think, but that's a really good thing. It's an amazing thing because I just do it, and I really encourage anyone just to, look at the evidence. It's, I'm a trader. I'm always looking for a good deal. I'm always looking for value, and and it's about risk reward. I want that ROI. I want that reward, and you know, it's I've got it in 6 weeks. So there you go.
Absolutely, 592%
Absolutely.
ROI, increase in profits, 750% increase in revenue on the 4 weeks in this time period compared to last year. So what we'll do, Patrick, we will have another one of these calls in about 1 to 2 months' time, just to find out exactly where you are then, how much higher you have climbed. You're already high anyway, but you'll be climbing even higher, I know. So I will see you on our group coaching call actually in an hour's time.
Thank you so much, and thanks